And what positions did you play in baseball and football, even growing
Oh,
up?
so baseball, I was a left fielder. I
Okay.
don't know if people were telling me, oh, that's because the balls don't go there. I was like, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But apparently, I could hit.
Mm,
So like, oh, he can hit. We should
mm.
put him in the lineup, hide him somewhere. So that's what I thought. Like, oh, how you hide me in left field? I just tell everybody, oh, it's because I fast. They're fast. I'm bigger. I'm fatter than everybody else, but I fast.
And then for football, what positions did you play?
For football, I was a O lineman and a D lineman. I had
Got it.
no idea what I was doing. It was a lot of screaming to my friend to my quarterback who I went to school with from preschool to the day we graduated college. We're good friends. All I remember, his name is Kyoni Abaya. All I remember is, wow, Sid! Oh, that's
Yeah.
oh sorry.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so all of those things, I mean, but it's interesting to hear that perspective because, now looking back in hindsight with all the knowledge that you have, the experience
yeah,
helping kids, right? Sometimes when you have patellar tendonitis, Osgood's, and all of this, it's like, no, you should really start to pay more attention to this because later
yeah,
down the line, even like a misdiagnosed ACL that, you go on for even months, that could have more of a detrimental effect, we know, in the long run. So after these knee injuries, and then you were in college, probably you said around 20 years old, and you had pretty bad arthritis at that point, and it would kind of flare up, and there would be times when you would be able to function like normal. But explain a little bit about that and how you kind of got introduced into athletic training, sports medicine, and what was that journey like?
the journey. I would say lost. I was living my life at UH. College was a little bit cheaper then, and college was fun. I had fun going to class, learning new things, meeting new people. One of my friends was in the program, as I said, and I think I had an injury, and she helped me through it. And I asked her, I was like, oh, is this an actual major? And she's like, yeah, it's actually training. I was like, oh, that's cool. I go, maybe I should look into it. Because I was a gym rat and I always hung out at lower campus, I also worked at the intramural office. And I was very familiar with the layout. And I asked around like who was the program director and how I would be able to get into the program. My professor then was, or who introduced me was Iris Kimura.
Mhm.
She came in back in, I want to say 97
Okay.
or so. And it wasn't a formal meeting because it was a group meeting and I didn't have any kind of training. She just told me like, hey, you go to Kalani High School and go get some experience there. I was like, okay, I know nothing, but let's just go to Kalani High School and meet up with their athletic trainer, who at that time was Kelly Lu. And so I just went, like, hi, I just want to check out athletic training. And she hands me a roll of tape. I'm like, oh, go tape this guy. I'm like, I don't know what to do. She's like, well, you're gonna have to learn someday. I was like, okay. So I tape, normal people take like 2 minutes, right? 2 minute half, or Eric Okazaki takes 45 seconds. But this must have taken like maybe 10 minutes and it's super tight. And the guy who I taped, I see him around every now and then. And he's like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was terrible. I was like, I know. But it's good to remember so you can always get better, right? So did that. I learned a lot, even if I didn't have any real background in anatomy or biomechanics or rehab. But working with Kelly, you learn a lot of. I learned a lot of first aid things, but also some work ethic.
Mhm.
What's expected of you as an athletic trainer? Like you cannot call in sick.
Mhm.
Like who else is gonna work? I go, yeah, you're right. Yeah, well, we're there before the athletes, we're there after the athletes are done.
Mhm.
And, that's what I learned in my experience at Kalani High School. And then I was finally in the program with Dr.
Mhm.
Kimura, and then I was assigned to the training rooms at UH. Back then, there were two athletic training rooms. One was
Mhm.
primarily for female athletes, and the other one, the other training room was for the male athletes. But now it's combined into one big
Mhm.
athletic training room at UH. But being in both training rooms, I got to work with a lot of sports: men's and women's volleyball, men's and women's basketball, the football team, and then you get to practice what you learn in class, right? So that's always good. But a lot of my like hardcore experience was with the men's side with football under Eric Okazaki. And I listen to a lot of people. I meet a lot of his former students and stuff. And if Eric is listening, I still call you my mentor, even though he
Yeah.
denies it. But
Yeah.
but they always talk like, oh yeah, I didn't learn anything. They didn't teach me anything. But the thing with Eric and Jay Gu, like if you had a question, you make sure you went and searched the answer for yourself.
Mhm.
And for me, like it wasn't more so that I needed him to teach me all of those things. What he taught me was, it's unspoken stuff.
Mhm.
Like how to conduct yourself as an athletic trainer, how to conduct your athletic training room. He always told me that, not me, but he would tell the whole group that don't think any one of you are special.
Mhm.
And that's true, like
Yep.
because like if you decide not to work today, the show's still going to go on. The
Yes.
show will go on. I was like,
Yes.
yeah. So I learned a lot. Like I was deathly afraid of him when I first met him, like super scared, typical student mentor relationship. But now I consider us friends.
Mhm.
We don't hang out as much because of COVID, but as soon as it's finished.
Yes. Back to
Yeah.
normal. And yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of, so many generations of athletic trainers that Eric has inspired and taught us so many things that we still use to this day, And yeah, we'll definitely go into some of the stories at UH and all of that.